You're here today. I'm out here in Montana, and we are currently in Thompson Falls, Montana, and I'm here to take a look at Island Park here. I haven't been here in a long time, but I figured, hey, this is a pretty good day to come out here and check this out. It's pretty cool, so I figured I'd take you guys along and on a live exploration. So let's go ahead and check it out. So right here we're at the entrance to Island Park, and behind us here we're like right past the gas station here in Thompson Falls, Montana, and this is a pretty cool place. Got this historic wood planked bridge to walk across first. But you got this whole little area here that's a dam, and this is a pretty large dam here. And I believe that we're on the Clark Fork River too. This bridge is really old. I believe that there was something about it. I don't remember if I read anything about this or not, but it's kind of styled like an old railroad bridge. But this is like a giant walking path, and it goes all over the place here in this park. And there's little historical pieces and stuff about the park every which way you go here. There's the hydroelectric facility there on the other side of the dam, right over there. And this is pretty neat. Beautiful area here. You see there's like another, I think this is like a reservoir on top here, but there's actually a dam there which discharges that way. And then you just saw the other direction there, which discharges water that direction too, which is like westerly. So there's like a west and an east gate here, which is kind of interesting. Don't see a whole lot of these. The sign back there says that this has a fish ladder, which we'll take a look at it. And any sort of historical piece we'll take a look at too. It's really interesting walking across this. These are like wider than railroad ties, but they're pretty thin too. So we're officially now across the bridge inside of the park. This is pretty cool. So we've got a danger sign. Water levels can change rapidly, can rise rapidly with or without warning. So sirens and lights mean exit area now. Water will rise rapidly. So there's a couple different ways that we can walk through here. And this sign tells us about it here. So it says, welcome to Island Park. Island Park offers Island Park offers excellent views of the Thompson Falls Hydroelectric Project's main dam and fish ladder from overlooks at the end of the trail to your left. The trail straight ahead leads to the historic High Bridge, which connects the island to the south shore of the Clark Fork River. We just crossed the Gallatin Street Bridge here. This is where we are. And if we go off this direction, it'll go to the fish ladder over here. But a little more information about this. Park is open daily from sunrise to sunset. It says no motorized vehicles. Keep your dogs leashed. No open fires or fireworks, no alcohol, no shooting firearms. So I think first we'll go over to the fish ladders and we'll check that out and see what it's all about. And then we'll go up this trail to the High Bridge and check that out too. That was an interesting siren, if you guys heard that. Well, we're almost to the end of summertime here. Trying to get all the summertime fun in that I can possibly get in here before we start to head into the cooler months, the aforementioned burr months, you know. And I'm about 2 months. It's 2 months to my birthday right now, so. And in 2 months I'll be 40. So I'm trying to enjoy the last bit of my 30s that I have left until I reach the big 40 here. As you can see, starting to show signs that fall's coming. Colors are changing. It's still really warm. It's about 85 degrees here, so there's multiple paths here to walk down. I'm not sure where that one goes, but this one I think goes to the overlook here. So you can start hearing the roaring water here. So this tells you about the dam. So we are here on the curved side of the main dam here. And the sign says, Thompson Falls Hydroelectric Project generates electricity from water flowing down the Clark Fork River. The project is comprised of 2 dams that manage river flow and 2 powerhouses that use the energy of the passing water to make power. You can see this is where we are there, pardon my shadow. So the main dam, which we see here, and dry channel dam located at the other side of this island, raise the natural river level immediately upstream by 32 feet. The dams regulate the amount of river flow that is spilled from the dams or sent into the project's powerhouses. The water dropping through penstocks into the powerhouses spin turbines, which are connected to generators. The original powerhouse, which began generating electricity in 1915, contains 6 generators. The Unit 7 powerhouse, with a single, much larger generating unit, was completed in 1995. So this here is the original powerhouse that was originally built in the early 1900s there. In total, the 7 generators can produce up to 94 megawatts of electricity, enough to meet the needs of about 85,000 homes. After the water is used to make electricity, it exits the powerhouses and returns to the river. The project is a run-of-the-river development that immediately passes all river flow downstream. During spring runoff, when the flow into the Clark Fork exceeds 24,000 cubic feet per second, the maximum amount of the water that can be used by the powerhouses, the excess is released from the dams. Look for this spill from about mid-April to mid-July. So we'll walk down here to the little viewpoint. So here's the dam, and right here is where the fish ladder is here. You can see the water going through the ladder over there, down below us. This thing's freaking out on me. Doesn't like my angle. Let me try to zoom in a little bit for you guys. You see the water running there? So the dam's got just a little bit open here, enough to flow some water downstream here. Pretty low right now. Now this is pretty cool. We can read some more about the fish ladder here. This actually shows you the path of the fish ladder. Although it is commonly called a fish ladder, the Thompson Falls Fish Passage Facility is really an elaborate stairway. It consists of 48 pools or steps that allow fish to gradually climb about 50 feet from the river below the dam to the reservoir above. So in here, prominent fish that are in here: West Slope cutthroats and bull trout. So number 1 here on the sign, it says designing and positioning a fish ladder so fish can find and use it is a challenge. It's not like you can put up a sign pointing the way. Migrating fish are attracted by a current. It can be coaxed to certain areas by manipulating water flow. To lure fish to the ladder, flow up to 80 cubic feet per second is discharged in front of its entrance pool. And then number 2 there. Once inside the ladder, the fish swim from pool to pool against a 6 cubic foot per second flow. Pools are about 5 foot wide and 6 to 10 feet long. And the total length of the ladder is 356 feet. The ladder was designed to assist fish migrating upriver. Fish traveling downstream pass over the dam or through the powerhouse. So here's the third point of thing on here. Near the top of the ladder is an area that can be used to trap and hold fish so biologists can count, sort, tag, and measure them. Some fish may be selected for truck transport to upstream locations, but biologists don't need to be here to monitor fish activity. Some fish using the ladder will carry tags that can be read by a nearby antenna, enabling biologists to automatically record their passage. And then right there is the exit pool gate there. It says fish exit the ladder to the reservoir through a 3 foot wide tunnel in the dam near its crest. Most fish using the ladder are traveling to their natal spawning areas, which are upstream from here. Look for bull trout, mostly in the spring and fall, cutthroat trout, rainbow trout, northern pike, peamouth, and suckers mainly in the spring, and brown trout and mountain whitefish during the late summer and fall. This sign says giving fish a lift. River life is an obstacle course for wild trout in Montana. Native fish face many barriers that can block upstream passage and impede their natural migratory patterns, from old weirs and channel modifications to dams and bridges. But with a lift from the northwestern energy, the upriver journey of bull trout, western cutthroat trout, and other fish species got easier on the Clark Fork. It says after its completion in 1915, the Thompson Falls Dam became a barrier for upstream fish migration along the Clark Fork. The dam created a 54-foot high wall across the river at the top of the falls. At the time the dam was built, fish were plentiful, and few people understood or cared about its effect on fish passage. In the late 20th century, it became clear that the dam's limited fish habitat and blocked migration of native fish. Measures were needed to protect fish stocks, some of which were sliding towards extinction. In 1998, the federal government listed bull trout as a threatened species under the Endangered Species Act. Bull trout were once common throughout the Pacific Northwest, but now found in small rivers in their native range, including the Clark Fork River. because of their dependence on high-quality habitat. The existence of bull trout is an indicator of stream health. To help restore native trout, the $10 million Thompson Falls fish ladder was built in 2009-2010 in cooperation with Montana Fish and Wildlife and Parks, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes. It is the first full-height fish passage ladder in the U.S. built specifically for the threatened bull trout. After 95 years, trout once again migrate upriver past Thompson Falls into hundreds of miles of their native spawning waters in the upper Clark Fork River drainage. We can walk back up top here. I think there's another sign to read that I didn't see. Oh, there's two signs over here I didn't read. Oh, make that 3. All right. Oh, this one tells about generating power. The Thompson Falls project began producing electricity on July 1st, 1915, although its powerhouse was not finished until 1917. Power was needed for the Coeur d'Alene mines, and the first generator was put online as soon as possible to meet contractual obligations. There's a shot of the turbines there. It says 2 generators were installed in 1915 and 2 additional units in 1916 and 2 more in 1917. So this photo was taken around 1920. It says 6 generators were installed in the 240-foot long, 90-foot high powerhouse. Crews began excavating for the building's massive tunnels and foundations in 1914, after months of drilling to determine stability. Once carpenters had completed the form work, concrete foundations were poured in and steel framework erected. Masons then laid walls of stone block cut from bedrock, blasted from various sites on the project. To meet the growing demand for electricity, a 7th generating unit was installed in a separate powerhouse built in 1993 to 1995 between the original powerhouse and the dry channel dam. It produced more electricity than the original 6 generators combined. You can see the original powerhouse from its access road, which is available for public use by foot or bicycle only, just west of the Power Park in Thompson Falls. Or you can view it from the south end of the High Bridge and the South Shore area. So we should be able to get a shot of it when we go to High Bridge, which is up the way a ways. So this tells about lumber, concrete, and hundreds of men. Building the Thompson Falls project took 5 years and a workforce that reached 650 men. With the exception of steel, all of the project's construction materials were obtained or manufactured on location. Supplying the project's construction needs created a short-term boom in the local economy. says shops and a work camp were constructed near present-day Power Park. 10 bunkhouses, a boarding house, bathhouse, dining hall that seated 450 were built there, as were warehouses and carpenter and machine shops. Only one building was designed to be permanent, an office and a dormitory building for the executives and clerical staff. Because work was done over a distance of about 1 mile, several miles of narrow gauge railway were built to move steam shovels, compressors, lumber, concrete, rock, and other heavy equipment and materials for the extensive excavating and concreting. A sawmill 1.5 miles downstream furnished crib timber, form lumber, ties, and other wood products, while a concrete mixing plant on the dry channel supplied 100,000 yards of concrete. You can see them dumping concrete there. And I think this is one of their steam shovels there. It says drilling core samples. They built a temporary suspension bridge across the river near the powerhouse site in 1914. Work on the project was conducted day and night, every day of the week, whatever the weather. Sometimes tragedies occurred. 5 workers were killed during project's construction. Although work was hard by today's standards, life was not entirely without leisure. A baseball team and a brass band were organized. Tennis courts were built, and dances and get-together banquets were held from time to time. See, there's the baseball team there. So that's cool. So here's a picture of them actually constructing the dam there. And it says damming the river. 2 dams were needed to raise upstream river levels and provide hydroelectric head for generating power at Thompson Falls. A main dam between here and the river's south shoreline, and a second dam on the dry channel between this island and the powerhouses. Work on the dams and other aspects of Thompson Falls project began in earnest in 1913. There's construction of the jetty and rock-filled timber crib cofferdam, which was built from the north riverbank to the top of the falls to confine water to the south portion of the channel. That's in 1913 there. This photo is the completion of the apron at the bottom of the northern half of the main dam in 1914. And here's construction of the southern portion of the main dam in 1915. It says the coffer dam built from the south shoreline connected to the completed portion of the main dam, which had temporary sluiceways built into its base to accommodate river flow. So it says the 913-foot long main dam was built in 2 stages. This end of the dam was constructed first, after a temporary cofferdam was built upstream to confine the flow to the south half of the river channel, as I just mentioned. After this side of the river was dewatered, rock was excavated to provide a firm foundation for the dam. Massive lumber forms were built and filled with concrete. When this end of the main dam was complete, the cofferdam was removed and the process was repeated from the opposite shore to construct the southern portion of the dam. So the next portion is building the 450-foot long dry channel dam. So it says that building the 450-foot long dry channel dam was less complicated. A cofferdam built just upstream of the Gallatin Street Bridge kept water from the dam site and other areas under construction, including the Powerhouse Canal, forebay, and foundation. Narrow gauge railways connected construction sites to a concrete mixing plant, sawmill, rock quarry, and spur lines of the Northern Pacific Railroad. In late June of 1915, both dams were operational. The gates were closed, and the water behind the dams rose and flowed over the crest of the main dam. Although a system of flashboards was added to the tops of the dams over the next few years, sufficient head was now available to begin generating power at the Thompson Falls project. So that's all those informational boards there. A beautiful shot of the mountainside there. It looks like there was a fire here at some point in the recent past. If anybody happens to know when that fire happened over there, let me know in the comments. As usual. All right, my friends. Let's get back to walking. So we're gonna walk down back to the main trail over here. And we'll go check out the high bridge here. So, what did you guys think of the main dam there? Let me know what you think. I found this place on a random Explorer probably like 6-7 years ago. I just randomly happened to find it and came and checked it out, and I was like, this is pretty cool. And so I've been thinking about this for a while, coming back here and checking it out, and decided to come over here today. It only takes about 3 hours or so from my house to get here. So it's not too bad of a day trip to get to. And Thompson Falls is off of Highway 200 in Montana. It's like one of the first big towns that you get to when you get into Montana. You pass a couple other little small places that are kind of off the beaten path. They're really small, but this is like the first large town off of 200 here in Montana. At the Thompson Falls is actually pretty cool too. The main part of town, there's a lot of cool old historical buildings, and I mean, since I got you here, we can go do that afterwards, and you guys can see all the cool buildings here in town. This will be a pretty long explore for you guys. But you guys will have enough time to drop in and drop out or whatnot, because I'll be live for a while. We'll hang out and check out some stuff, man. Pretty cool. So we're back here now at the main spur here, and there's the Gallatin Bridge there, and we'll walk this way to High Bridge. We can go down here and check out this the dry channel dam over here. I believe there's a little spot over here, you can see it. We actually saw some clouds here. It looks like it might have tried to rain here a while ago, but nothing really of note. But the smoke is not too bad here, at least. In my area back home, it's been pretty smoky over there because we got about four fires around the area where I live at. Oh, here's you can see that narrow gauge railway thing here that they were talking about. They still got it on this one here. This is really neat. So you can see there's like a little cart over there on the bridge. Kind of interesting. There seems as though there's like a little side trail over here everybody's been walking on. Oh yeah, there is another trail right here. So here's the other side of this dam here. Man, some dang. Got a hairball. Some really nice pools down here. I don't know that I'd want to try to swim on this, but it's very, very inviting, that's for sure. They got lights like all the way across this dam here on this side, which is kind of neat. You can see the little train car there. They have it running on actual, like, it looks like car rims there. Interesting. This is pretty beautiful. Looks like there's a little path here. that goes up to where this rock is. That might be interesting. Let's go check it out. Let's scramble down this hill. Maybe I should walk back there so I don't fall on my ass and hurt myself. Huh. Oh yeah, this is a little bit better spot up here. See the rock formations, the channel that it goes down and back into the Clark Fork there. Catch my breath a little bit here. Just coming up that little bit. This is pretty cool. I tell you, nothing like exploring. See across the channel over there, there's like a I can't get my I'm gonna go any closer there. There's like a retaining wall there, and it looks like there was like a spillway there on that side. This is really cool. Well, let's get back up and head on back down this path here and check out some more stuff. Pretty cool area though. Not too far off the beaten path. It's like right there. I think the path was designed to lead you to this spot, I guess. There also looks like there's like another path that goes through the woods over here. There's another trail over there. Interesting. There's like little tiny trails through here all over the place. I can see another one right over there. I think we'll go back to this one though. This is a little crazy there with all the weird sideways rocks. Stay on the beat, stay on the path over here. So we'll go down this one. Now it's starting to get quiet because we're going away from the dam now. Oh yeah, that was a shortcut that I was looking at that comes right to this trail spot. Oh, I see High Bridge. There's a viewpoint to High Bridge right up along here. This is a pretty cool trail. Forgot how cool it was. I haven't been here in so long. All right, my friends. Well, we're to the High Bridge overlook here. Looks like we're gonna have to walk back around to go to the actual High Bridge. But there's the High Bridge spot here. I'm sure there is a placard about this up there on the trail, and I believe that this was a railroad one now. But this is really cool. Look at this view. And the trail goes down there to where the end of the spillway is. There, the viewpoint to where it discharges back into the Clark Fork here. Maybe there is a trail up to it. We don't have to walk all the way back. We'll go and look here. I need to take a little bit of a break myself, though. Wow. This is so cool, this area. So there's multiple ways to get to Thompson Falls. You could take 200 from, if you're coming west, you could take 200, which begins over by Sandpoint. You could take that up this way, or you could take I-90 and go to Pinehurst, and then take the little road up here, which is pretty cool. It goes past some old mining towns, some actual like ghost towns and stuff up there. There's also a beautiful waterfall up that way too. I haven't been to in like 10 years. But this is so awesome. I think I'm sufficiently gassed up now. I can go and see what the heck this trail is over here. See if it goes up to the actual high bridge, so I don't have to walk all the way back. Let's go check it out, guys. I saw it, but it looks like it goes uphill over here. Well, it does. It's a little steep, but it saved some time rather than going all the way back. But here's a little closer look at the bridge. Really cool. I'm gonna challenge myself here. We're gonna go uphill. Whew. So now we're back up to the top here. All right. Break time again. Oh. Oh. Catch my breath from that little hill there. I'm out of shape now. All right. Don't mind me as I catch my breath here. So this bridge looks like it was replanked also. Little thin guys there, like 2x6s. Whew. All right. I tell you what, guys, that was a heck of a little hill there. I didn't feel it till I got to the top. Okay. So we're at the bridge now. It actually has the load limit. So max gross vehicle weight 10 tons and max axle weight 4 tons. But I'm sure the only people that are driving across this are probably emergency vehicles that need to get across here quickly, or the park service people. But anyways, we can read about the bridge here. So bridging the river. Lots of people, equipment, and materials needed to be moved across the Clark Fork River to develop hydroelectric facilities at Thompson Falls. And the small boats and ferries that traveled between the river shorelines in the early 1900s, weather and river conditions permitting, weren't up to the task. Bridges were needed to span the river. So you can see the whole area there. And with a note about where the High Bridge is right there. Here's a picture of the High Bridge here, circa 1920. The High Bridge and the Gallatin Street Bridge were designed by William Cowles of Minneapolis and built for Sanders County by O.E. Peppard. To assist construction of the hydroelectric projects, Sanders County built 2 bridges in 1911 that linked the north and south shorelines of the Clark Fork River across Thompson Falls Island. Near you is the 588-foot-long High Bridge, which connects the island to the south shoreline. The 377-foot-long Gallatin Street Bridge, formerly known as the Dry Channel Bridge, links the island to the north shore. The bridge route across Thompson Falls Island was the main transportation thoroughfare until 1928, when a bridge was built over the Clark Fork River west of Thompson Falls at Birdland Bay. The island's route usefulness was diminished further in 1961 when the State Highway 200 bridge was built just a mile and a half downstream. Due to deterioration, the High Bridge was closed to vehicular traffic in the 1970s and then to all use in the late 1970s, breaking the link across the Clark Fork River at Thompson Falls. The Gallatin Street Bridge remained open for public, non-motorized access to the island and operation of the Thompson Falls project dams. So this is a look at the High Bridge before it was reconstructed in 2003 there. That's pictures in 2003. And then it shows, this is a picture of the bridge after the reconstruction in 2011. And it says, new life was given to the High Bridge after interest grew in reestablishing the connection between the city of Thompson Falls and the river's south shoreline. Through the efforts of Sanders County and numerous individuals, organizations, and agencies, the High Bridge was renovated and reopened for pedestrian and bicycle use in May of 2010. After laying idle for more than 30 years, the High Bridge now serves the area's recreational and non-motorized transportation needs. So pretty cool there. So here's another thing about power, the power houses over here. Although electricity was a relatively new technology at the turn of the 20th century, electric lights and machines quickly became popular. In addition to its use in homes and industries, electricity was needed for construction. But in a region without power, where would the electricity required to build the dams and the powerhouses at Thompson Falls come from? And you can see Prospect Creek Bridge there and the Prospect Creek Powerhouse, which I'm sure was probably built across here, like right in that area that I was looking at a little while ago. You can see like there's an old foundation over there. But to provide initial power to the area, the Prospect Creek Generating Facility was built in 1912, 1913. Look across the Clark Fork River and you'll see the foundation remains of its powerhouse at the mouth of Prospect Creek. So that is what this little retaining wall is leftover remnants of the powerhouse there. The Prospect Creek facility supplied power for the lights, compressors, and pumps used to construct the much larger Thompson Falls project, which began generating its own electricity in 1915. The Prospect Creek Power Plant also brought the first electricity to Thompson Falls, Plains, Paradise, and other Clark Fork Valley locations. Customers paid $2 monthly for a 110-volt service that could be adjusted to light several light bulbs. To make electricity at Prospect Creek, water was diverted into a wooden flow line at a small dam about 1 mile up the creek. The flow line carried the water to the top of the hillside above the powerhouse, where it dropped through a penstock. The force of the water falling to the powerhouse spun a Pelton water wheel, which was connected to a generator. So you can see the flow line there in that picture. It says the wood stave flow line was built of boards held together by metal bands, much like a wooden barrel. And I've seen these before too. One of my vacations, like a couple years ago, I went up to a powerhouse in Oregon that still had this wooden flow line. There were sections of the flow line that was still like reasonably whole. So it's pretty cool to see. These things are pretty big. And the next little spot says, although Prospect Creek Power Plant produced a little electricity by today's standards, it was enough to meet the region's first power needs. High water flows in the Clark Fork River during spring runoff caused problems at the Prospect Creek facility, and it was decommissioned soon after the Thompson Falls project came online. This says high water threatens the Prospect Creek powerhouse and bridge during the 1916 spring runoff there. That's a lot of water. So you can see here, there's the penstock there, runs down the hillside. So they diverted the creek way up the hillside there, and it runs through the penstock into the back of the water house, the powerhouse, and then water's discharged out of that little outlet there. You can still see part of it over here if you look across. That's what's left of that over there. It's pretty cool. So Prospect Creek's like running right out into there, just right in the foreground of that concrete structure there. So pretty cool. My hand is starting to to go numb here. I have to switch hands. Holding my gimbal here. Here is another thing about the High Bridge renovation. This tells you about it. So this renovation was dedicated in May 8th, 2010. The High Bridge was originally constructed in 1911, included in the Thompson Falls Hydroelectric Dam Historic National Register. Included in the Thompson Falls Hydroelectric Dam Historic National Register of Historic Places in 1986. Man, that's a mouthful. Tell you what. Shows the Sanders County Commissioners at the time, Steering Committee, Grants and Appropriations, and major contributions to this renovation project. We can go a little ways out here to like the middle of the bridge and take a look at it. So I guess I was wrong. This was actually a vehicle bridge, not a railroad bridge, so my bad. It's making noise walking over top of it. Little sketch, not too terrible. Hey, there's a waterfall over here. Just a little teeny tiny waterfall over there. I can't quite get my screen to zoom in enough using my actual screen as a zoom. I don't have the options to scroll it in more than a little ways with my fingers. If anybody knows the cheat code to that so I can actually get it to zoom further, let me know. But that's pretty cool, a little waterfall there. Like another little creek down there. That's cool. Tell you what, guys, after this much walking, just looking at the water right now makes me want to jump in it. Look at that green, that pretty green water down there. But a feller can't really swim very good at all, so me thinks that's probably a little too deep for me. I'd probably be over there on the other side of the shore there, just waiting. Looks like there's an overflow spillway way down yonder. See, there's like a concrete retaining wall way down there, and the water's like backflowing into it. Maybe that's one of the outlet channels to the dam there. Methinks. I'm not sure. I think the path goes way further up in here, and I think there's also a way you could drive down to just check out this spot from the other side, but you have to go up the one highway. I think it's 89 or whatever, the one that goes to Murray Pritchard. But I think there's an access point to the south side of the bridge there. They built a road. I'm trying to remember. I think I remember driving down it at one point, like the last time I was up here, which was like 10 years ago. This is so cool. Just want to kind of get oh yeah, you can see the original powerhouse. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay. I just have to get a better vantage point here. We can see the old powerhouse. You see it starting to poke out. The bridge is making noise. A little sketch. I don't know what's making noise, but that's sketching me out a little bit. Yeah, so that's the old powerhouse way down there. The original one that was built in 1911. Pretty cool stuff, guys. I guess now is the time where we head back down the path over here and we can go check out town, show you guys some of the old buildings. It's pretty cool place here at Thompson Falls. So let's walk back across here to the truck, and I'll show you guys around Thompson Falls here. Hope you guys are enjoying the adventure so far, though. I sure am. Ain't nothing like an old adventure to get you juiced up for the coming week. Also, ain't nothing like getting some exercise too. This is good exercise, I tell you. So I'm sure there's more little paths and stuff to explore in here, but I'll leave that to you guys to explore. If you ever come over here, just know that there's little side paths and stuff all over the place here. There's a big old map of things to do at the beginning of the trailhead, so we'll take a look at that when we get back over there, and I'll show you some things. And then we'll go explore downtown. It's not too terrible of a walk. It's nice and flat for those of you that are concerned about hills and such. This main path is pretty flat, and it looks like it's a nice gentle upslope. The side paths here are the ones that are interesting. There's like this old stone building up on the top of this hill here. I think we'll get a good view of it here in a sec. But yeah, there's like another generating building up there. It has a bunch of pipe pieces coming out to the side of the building there. I think it was kind of like a generating building or something there. There's nothing to really tell you about it, so it's kind of a guess. There's a little, yeah, it looks like a generating building. So that was a pretty short walk back from High Bridge to here. Not terrible. It's just we did the scenic excursion roundabout way to get up to it. Just stay on the path. It's not too far actually. And again, I'll show you guys the sign. So we were up here. We went and looked at the dry channel there. And now we're back over here and we cross the bridge and go back to the truck over there. And then we will commence to further exploration. Now we're going back across the Gallatin Bridge here. This is such an interesting old bridge here. Like most of them that I've seen that look like this are usually railroad bridges, so it's kind of interesting that this is a vehicle bridge. Somebody's got a cute little log cabin there. That's neat. Just caught my eye. And we're back at the beginning here. And like I said, don't stick around. We'll take you through Thompson Falls here and show you some cool stuff. So this is the parking area for the park here. So you just come down by where Town Pump is and just park over here in the park here and go for a nice long walk. All right, so we're back at the truck now. And I'll show you the sign here. It's got all sorts of attractions here. So here's where we are. Right there, we just did the historic High Bridge and the Gallatin Bridge and looked at the dam here. And there's another trail right here. It's Powerhouse Loop Trail, which I'm sure takes you down around the powerhouse there. There's another trail system up north. There's a bunch of trails up here. There's also some cool spots here in the center of town. This is a pretty small town, but we're right next to the courthouse over here, which is Sanders County's old jail museum. There's a dog park here in town. There's an outdoor swimming pool. There's just a bunch of stuff along Main Street here. All the historic buildings here that we'll take a look at. But yeah, this is a bunch of recreation and visitor attractions for this entire area. You see the bridge we just looked at. There's the old powerhouse and the dam. I'm guessing that must be the historical museum, old jail. And then there's another like little lookout thing there. Pretty cool. All right, so we'll get it in the truck and we'll take a drive down around town. I'm gonna hand it off to my sister there. Woo! Okay.
This vehicle is equipped with OnStar's high-speed 4G connection, but services are not currently active. Press the blue OnStar button.
Give me a sip of mine.
This vehicle is equipped with OnStar's high-speed 4G connection.
Yeah, we know, lady. Quiet.
Active. Press the blue OnStar button to learn more.
Okay, so I see the old jail museum over here. Roll down your window. Show the guys the museum. Open daily from 12 to 4, and of course it's 6 o'clock, so it ain't open. Lots of places to go swimming and stuff. Nothing? Nothing. Okay. Okay, we'll look at the other side now since we're... There's the road that takes you to some of those other trails. Pretty cool, like a higher shot of the town here. You can see higher up vantage point of downtown area there. Get you guys a little view here. Oh, hey, there's a dog. What's up, dog? Pretty neat little town, I tell you what. Well, my friends, I think that's going to do it for our live video today. I hope you guys enjoyed this look at Thompson Falls and the little park there, Island Park there. And if you guys did, you know what to do. Go ahead and smash that like button. Share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, baby. You know, that's where it's at. Thank you all for your support. We're inching closer and closer to 1,000. At 860 currently, so I appreciate all you guys' support. And keep commenting on the videos, because that helps with the algorithm and the stuff. And it for sure hit the like button, because that always helps too. So thank you guys for all of your support. And as always, my friends, adventure on, and I'll see you somewhere here in the next one.